Izzy Bites, I got an old school childhood favorite for you. Smothered chicken wings with a butter gravy. Now let's get it poppin'. Now when it comes to smothered chicken, I am the best at making it. And I know this because I get so many compliments. People want to come back for more and more and more. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Now the trick to this is that you must have the best fried chicken and you must have the best gravy to go with it. So I'm going to show you the technique on how to do both of these and combine them together so that you can also make the best smothered chicken and have people coming back for seconds as well. Now first we're going to start off with our chicken wings. I got some wings that I cleaned here. And I like to clip the tips of the wings off because after you fry them, the tips tend to stand up. And when I want to smother them, the tips are sticking up and it kind of makes it difficult for the gravy to cover it with the tips continuously sticking up. So I just go ahead and clip them off, and I suggest you do the same thing. Now what I'm doing here is I'm popping the tips at the joint. And what this does is it makes it easier for the shears to cut through the joint area because it has been disconnected. Usually what I do is I'll go ahead and I'll fry the chicken and just break it off, because after the chicken is fried, it gets real tender and it's easy to just snap the wing off with no problem. Now after removing our tips, I'm gonna go ahead and start the seasoning process. And like I always say, Lawry's garlic salt is the best. Now I'm gonna admit something to y'all. I started off seasoning the top, which I should not have done. What I do always is I'll turn it so that the bottom is facing up, and I'll season the bottoms first. And then after I finish seasoning the bottoms, I'll turn it over and do the tops last. Now, as you can see here, I noticed that I made the mistake. So I turned the wings over so that the bottoms are facing up, and I begin seasoning them. And the reason why I do this is because the skin is on the top, and that's the part, once you season it and you get it battered up, that's the top that becomes really crispy. And when you turn the skin part onto the pan, you lose some of your seasoning. So doing it this way prevents that from happening. Now, we're going to start off with our first seasoning. The first seasoning you should put down is your garlic salt, okay? That's the first one that should touch the skin. The next thing we're going to go in is with our black pepper, and we're going to put in like 2 tablespoons of black pepper. Now, the reason why I say do the salt first is because if you season the chicken with the other seasonings, the salt is not really going to connect with the skin like it should, which being that our salt is our prominent flavor here, then we want to go ahead and make sure that's connecting to the skin. Now we're going in with our granulated garlic, and we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of that as well, okay? Next, we're going to go in with our onion powder. Now, preferably, I'd rather use granulated onion powder instead of just fine granulated powder, because granulated has more of an intense flavor than the fine powder. So next we're going to proceed to flip our chicken over so that the skin side of the wings are up, okay? And this is going to be our last part of seasoning the meat itself before we go in and start working on our flour, our dry batter for the chicken. So we're going to turn the chicken over skin side up and begin to season first as well with our Lawry's garlic salt. And I always express Lawry's garlic salt because I'm telling you, it is the best when it comes to that garlicky flavor. So on the top, I just went ahead and added like a teaspoon and a half to make it all together a tablespoon for the top of the chicken. Then going in with a tablespoon of freshly ground black pepper. Can't express that enough, the fresh part. Then we're going to go ahead in with the next seasoning, which is the granulated garlic. We're going to add like 1 tablespoon of the granulated garlic to the top of the skin. Then we're gonna go in with the granulated onion powder. And we're gonna add like a tablespoon of that as well. And this is gonna be our last process when it comes to seasoning our meat. Then we're gonna go into our flour. Now for the flour, I'm going in with 4 cups of all-purpose flour. And we're gonna season that the same with the same seasonings that we did our chicken with. Okay, now with this large amount of flour, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of garlic salt for that, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, granulated garlic powder as well, and 1 tablespoon of freshly grounded black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of your onion powder. And then we're going to take our whisk and we're going to whisk that really good to incorporate, make sure that our seasonings are incorporated all throughout that flour, because this is what we're going to use as our dry batter for our chicken wings. Okay, now I tasted it, which you didn't see, and I noticed that I needed some more black pepper. So I went in and added in like about another tablespoon for this large amount of flour, 4 cups of flour that we have. Then I came back and I tasted it to see if there was anything else that I needed, and I was all set. Okay, so now we're going to go in and we're going to dredge our chicken wings into our flour, and we're going to take our wings and we're going to put skin side down to touch the flour. Okay, that's the first part we want to touch the flour, is the skin side down. And once we put our wings into the flour, we're going to press down the wings and we're going to squeeze. We're going to place our wings into the flour skin side down. Then we're going to take our flour and sprinkle it over the bottom part, and we're going to press down on the wings with the flour so that it's coming into contact as much as possible. Then we're going to set them on the side into our pan so that that flour can adhere to that chicken, meaning that it can stick as much as possible to that chicken skin and the chicken meat underneath, so that this will give us a better chance at having a crispy skin. Okay, so after we finish getting our chicken into our dry batter, we're going to go ahead and clean our area. And we're going to prep it so that we can get our oil nice and hot so that we can deep fry this chicken. And in the meantime, give me a like and show me some love by clicking that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that subscribe button and that bell so that you could be notified when I upload some more old school, old-fashioned soul food recipes. Now that I got my chicken set to the side, I got my area all prepped up, and I'm turning my oil up to 375 degrees. Once it reaches up to 375, we're going to go ahead and start frying our chicken. Now make sure when you put your chicken into your fryer that you don't overcrowd it. Reason being is that when you turn the oil up to 375 and it gets there, once you put the colder item in there, which is the chicken, it's going to drop the temperature down. So you don't want to add too many pieces of chicken into your deep fryer, okay? Because it'll prevent it from becoming nice and crispy like you want to. So now that our chicken is nice and crisp and we got it removed from our oil, we're going to start working on our butter gravy. And first thing we're going to do is add 2 sticks of butter to our pan and let it melt while we're over here prepping our onions so that we can saute it within the butter. From time to time, when you see me lay my cutting board down, you'll usually 99% of the time see me lay a cloth down, a damp cloth. Reason is that this will help prevent your cutting board from sliding when you're cutting any vegetables such as this onion here, or whatever vegetables you may cut in the future. Now right now we're slicing our onion and we're not doing anything specific, just going to do some thin slices. Now, once our butter has finished melting, we're going to take our seasonings and we're going to season our butter. Only thing is that we're not going to add any salt into this. We're going to add in 2 tablespoons of our granulated garlic, 2 tablespoons of our freshly ground black pepper. Then we're going to cover that for about 2 minutes. Come back and we're going to stir it because all of those oils from those seasonings are going to begin to burst and release themselves out into the butter. Then we're going to add our onion. Okay, now I'm adding onion, like I said, into this. You don't have to do it. You can leave the onion out if you want to, but I want to have onion gravy. Okay, so as my onion is sauteing, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to add in 1 cup of sifted all-purpose flour and gonna give that a good stir and then let that sit and cook for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we're gonna come back and we're gonna check and make sure that that raw taste is off of the flour, and we're gonna add in our chicken stock. Now, I added in about 3 cups of chicken stock at the beginning, and I'm giving it a good whisk so that we can release all of those lumps that may have begun to form within our gravy. Then we're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to give it a nice stir, a nice whisk to break up any lumps that may be in there. And then we're going to cover it again and we're going to let that saute. Now, after 10 minutes, this is when we're going to add in our salt. No tablespoons here, just a teaspoon of garlic salt to give it that little pop, okay? Then we're going to take our whisk and we're going to whisk that in. And you're going to notice that your gravy has really thickened up from that flour, okay? Which is what I noticed. Then you're going to add in some more chicken stock. Now, you're going to add it to your liking. I like my gravy to be thick. If you want it to be thinner, then you're going to add in more chicken stock. Now, as you see, it has gotten even more thicker, and I'm just stirring and making sure that nothing has stuck to the bottom. Once our gravy is done, we're going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees, and we're going to remove our gravy from off of the stove, and we're going to take our gravy and we're going to ladle it into our casserole dish. We're going to ladle some into the bottom before we put the chicken in. I see people take their chicken and they'll just throw it into the casserole dish and then pour the gravy over whatever little gravy they have. But the best thing to do, the best technique to do, is to put some on the bottom of your dish and then place your chicken on top of it, okay? As you can see, I am lining up my chicken wings here and I'm keeping them all in the same direction. As I said before, when I see other people do their smothered chicken or whatever, they'll just throw their chicken in there. But the best thing is to try to line it up so you can fit as many pieces in there as you can, which you can see is what I'm doing. Then after I get the chicken all in there and lined up properly, then I'm going to begin to ladle more gravy over the top. Now we want to make sure that we have enough gravy to cover the whole thing, okay? Because we want our gravy to soak into that batter that is on our chicken that we put up there with the flour to fry. Well, you're going to put your gravy on top of that, and as it cooks, all of that gravy is going to soak up into that chicken skin, that batter that is on the chicken skin. Now we're going to place it in the oven at 325 degrees, cook it for 4 to 5 hours, and this is what we come up with. Look at that, family. That chicken is nice and soft and moist. Remember that batter we put up there and fried it with? Well, the gravy has soaked all into that chicken. Remember we covered it with gravy and now it's gone? Because all of that gravy is within that batter, and it's gonna be something else. Now I recommend you eat this with some mashed potatoes or some rice or just by itself. But no matter how you have it, it's going to be absolutely delicious. Family, from my heart to yours, I want to thank you for coming by and enjoy.